Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are watching us from. You are on to the program where we review major news that made headlines across southern Nigeria in the past week. My name is Amzat.
And I'm Louis. Stay tuned for our news review for the week.
Yes, Louis, in the week under review, South governors backs President Bola Tinubu executive order on oil remittance.
Looking at that news, when I heard that news, and I also had to fact check and go through the news. I was something I love about the news is, you see, it's from all indications, rather from the governor's actions and words as regards the news on the oil remittance. You find out that the certain governors, they are pleased with the move by the president. It's like a new dawn, and this will also boost revenue that accrues to the states. What I see, this is going to help to check leakages, in the system, and also make states like the certain states who are oil producing areas, in fact, enjoy more, or rather get more dividends like than they've been getting. So I would say it's a good one. It's a welcome development because a lot is changing now, and since President Tinubu took over office, you can see he's trying to ensure that areas where we have leakages, areas where we have loopholes, he's trying to see how they can be nipped in the bud. So I would say it's a good one because the certain governors are the Bayelsa state governor and even Delta state governor, from their reactions, you see they are not against this move. So if in as much it's a move that is going to favor the certain regions, it's going to help them, it's going to boost IGRO, in fact, it's going to boost what they are going to be getting at the end of the day, unlike several deductions that was made during the time we had the NNPC. Now we now have NNPCL. So as at that time, this shows that some several deductions have been carried out, and sometimes it affects the revenue, or rather the revenue that is supposed to have accrued to them. So I believe this one is a good move. So the oil remittance directly to the federation account is a good one. That is how it should be. Unlike you at the end of the day, you remit oil revenue to government agencies, and at the end of the day it ends up being squandered. There will not be proper accounts.
And it not be private pockets.
You understand? There will not be proper accounts. You just see, and that's why we always get missing money. This $1 billion, this billion naira missing, and because it's misappropriated, because it ends in the hands of some private individuals who squander these resources, while the people who are supposed to be beneficiaries are made to suffer, are made to go through hardship, go to these areas you can't find meaningful development, considering the amount of revenue they give to the government every month, yearly. So I believe what the president is trying to do is just trying to put round pegs in round hole.
Exactly.
So that things should be the way it ought to in civilized climes. So I believe everyone should be happy with this move. It's a good one. I appreciate.
Yeah. Of course, everyone should be happy with this move, not just the South governors led by the governor of Bayelsa State, doing Diri. I expect even the Southwest governors, the Southeast governors, even the governors from the sixth geopolitical zone should back this, because this is translating to increase in monthly federal allocations to the various states and local government area. Like you said, it's a good one. It's a welcome development, because you see that executive order 9 signed by the president. He did a whole lot of good, especially to those areas that are producing oil, especially like the one you mentioned, the Delta State, Bayelsa State, and River State, because it's like the president is giving them back what is rightly due them. Because if you recall, section 162, subsection 1, talk about all revenue, all monies that is collected that is due to the federal government should be deposited right there in the federation account. It's lawful, it's constitutional, and I believe the president just want to seal it up with that executive 9. But I think we should go beyond just getting enough or increased allocation. These governors should not just be happy that they'll be getting much pay, much allocation from the federation account. They should ensure that whatever increased revenue is coming from the federation account that is accrued to them, that is given to them, must be channeled to deliverables, dividend of democracy, because the money belongs to the people of Nigeria. So the people of Nigeria should feel it wherever they are in the various states in the federation. They should feel the impact. I think that is what we should be looking at this time, because we'll be getting enough revenue, we'll be getting money from the federation account, but we will not see much of what they are doing with such fund. But I believe it's the time for them to really show that yes, to whom much is given, much is expected. So the people are expecting much from these governors. Also, in the week under review, Bayelsa State gets a new deputy governor after the demise of Lawrence Ujako.
Well, you see, just like we were saying before we entered the studio, life goes on. The demise of former Deputy Governor of Bayelsa State, Lawrence Ujako, though painful, though shocking, but the Bayelsa State government cannot be left. The office of the Deputy Governor cannot be left idle. It must be occupied. So I would say the governor has made his choice, and Peter Akpe, who formerly was the chief of staff, is now the new deputy governor. I would say, well, I wish Peter Akpe good luck, and also to the family of the demise, Lawrence Ujako. I will always say, I pray God give them the fortitude to bear the irreparable loss, because it's at this point, you know what that means, having someone of that status, not just with the wife, the kids, but also families, both extended.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of persons must have been beneficiaries.
Yeah.
Stuff like even community. So he has a lot of dependents. So I would say it's really a big loss to the family and the loved ones. And his loved ones. Well, for Bayelsa State Governor, for the Bayelsa State government, the office of the Deputy Governor cannot be vacant for a very long time. It's been 2 months, so say getting a new person to occupy that position, it's lawful. That's due process. So I wish Peter Akpe, the new Deputy Governor, I wish him good luck, and I wish him all the best as he starts this journey. I pray that God give him the wisdom, the direction to assist his boss in running the affairs of the state.
Yes, that's a good one anyway. But I believe that, like we started with, when we talked about the Bayelsa. Getting a new deputy governor in the person of the former chief of staff, talking about Peter Akpe. We talked about life goes on, that there is nobody that is irreplaceable.
Yeah.
And let's not forget that the office of the deputy governor cannot be left vacant.
Yeah.
Somebody must take up that position, because at this time, what the people of Bayelsa need is what we call a pro-people government, and I believe that as a deputy governor, he should ensure to do well, to work with his principal, talking about doing diri, to ensure that they deliver an inclusive government to the people of Bayelsa State. I think the appointment is a good one because Peter Akwe have been in the corridors right there in the state executive in Bayelsa as the chief of staff. So we must have understand the workings of the government led by Doediri. So I believe it was due to that experience and the versatility when it comes to politics and governance in this last 2 years of Doediri. I believe that must have contributed to him being the choice to replace the late Lawrence Rujako. Like we said before, it should ensure that the position is not just there for him to enrich himself or for his personal gains. He should ensure that he have the people of Bayelsa at the back of his mind while taking up that position. And let's not forget, in the process, in the course of the swearing, the governor talking about Doediri, he took the opportunity to swear in 18 permanent secretaries and 4 commissioners. That is to say, the executive council of the Bayelsa state government has become rigid, become, well, I said, robust, and become effective if the appointment of the permanent secretary, the commissioners, and the deputy governor is anything to go by. So the people of Bayelsa State are looking forward to good governance, are looking forward to better service delivery from the government led by Doediri. So we say congratulations to all those that were sworn, talking about the deputy governor, the commissioners, and the permanent secretaries. They should ensure that the trust reposed on them by the people of Bayelsa should not be betrayed. They should ensure they serve the people as enshrined in the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So once again, we say congratulations to those appointed. Also, President Bola Tinubu accept the resignation of Egbetokun, the former IGP, and appointed Tunji Disu as the acting IGP. No, it's a new sheriff in town.
Just remind when you hear the word a new sheriff in town, that's it's in fact a new sheriff in town has become, will I say, it's now a word on another comical level, because anytime I hear that word, the sound, a new sheriff in town, it makes me laugh. But on a serious note, whether you like it or not, it's the fact that we have a new sheriff in town. Now, the former IGP, the person of Egbetokun, in fact, his stay in office as the IGP has really caused a lot of, in fact, has caused so much talk, so much, there have been so much noise, so much banter as regards to his office. And I believe the president must have looked at it and thought it twice that his stay in office, his continuous stay in office with people, with a lot of people talking about his activities, the police, the fact the police not the reforms, no good reforms. The people complaining about the reforms in the police force, and from the reactions, you understand that a lot of persons are not happy. And even with the police, with the police, they had too many issues during his stay, because it was at that time we had pensioners talking about the police pensioners protesting almost every day, protesting the streets of Abuja, going to the National Assembly for protests. about unpaid pensions, and also year of the pensions not, in fact, not even up to standard. The pay, the pay is the remuneration, the pay they get as pension, and even the arrears. There were so many issues surrounding him as the IGP. So it was pertinent for the president to have looked at this issue and see, oh, there's need for him to just probably relax, because his retirement, or rather his end of office, his tenure in office is long overdue. So we now have a new sheriff in town, the person of Tunji Disu. So I believe this Tunji Disu must have seen and must have heard. In fact, not just he has seen. That should be the best word that I should use now. He has seen what Nigerians have been saying, and he has seen what Nigerians have saw in the past during his boss who just retired now. And he has heard many things. So I believe he can work on those areas and see how he can bring new reforms that will give that will change, that will give the police a new face. You understand? So the police force in Nigeria needs to have a new face, and there needs to be reform. So let's just see how the person of Tunji Disu is going to come up with reforms that will better change the image of the Nigerian police. So I just believe Tunji Disu should know what to do at this point in time and put them into work.
Exactly. Of course, he should know what to do. A former commissioner of Rivers State, former commissioner of the FCT.
Abuja.
So I believe he have garnered a whole lot of experience before he finally attained this exalted position. Talking about the acting Inspector General of Police. Let's not forget, he is the 23rd Inspector General of Police. Yes. So first, I will just quickly say congratulations to the new IGP, and it should ensure that the position is not one to use to favor friends and family. It is to serve the Nigerians people's interest, because in the course of this appointment, you go through social media, you see people trying to align with him, saying that we know this man here, we know this man there, and that's a good one anyway. But as a police, everybody is your friend. The only person that is your enemy is the enemy of the state. But in the course of carrying out his duty, he must ensure that he surpass the achievement recorded by his predecessor. Under Egbetokun, we know how the police fare. There have been issues of unprofessional conduct from different parts of the country. People complaining here and there about how the police have gone rogue. Police don't respect human rights. Police act as if they are criminals. Police don't even regard the Police Act. They just act arbitrarily. So we believe that Tunji Disu, that is coming at this time, we believe he's coming to introduce a whole lot of change that will further bring the human face to policing in Nigeria. We encourage him to ensure that he advises the president to ensure that the talk about community policing, state policing come into fusion, because we cannot police Nigeria from Abuja. We must police Nigeria from every corner of Nigeria, because today the crime, criminality that is happening, insecurity all over the country, we've now found out that there is need for us to have what we call a state police, a police force that can be able to penetrate every nooks and cranny of the state, because it is important that those living in the state should form their own police, because while they are abreast about the area, they are abreast about the people, they are abreast about the culture, not bringing one man from the north to come and be a policeman right here in the south. So there will be conflict of interest. It will be difficult for that man, that policeman from another region to act or work effectively because he is not conversant with the environment he has been deployed to. So we are, like I said, the new IGP, the acting IGP, should not just rest. Should ensure that in his time, state police came into fusion because he cannot do it all alone from Abuja because this is the time for us to police ourselves. And again, this same acting IGP, let's not forget that less than 3 months from now, he's supposed to have retired from the police force. But with the amendment of the Police Act in 2024, which allow for a complete 4 years for an IGP, so we believe that will change for now. So he has come at the right time, like we call it the new sheriff in town. So we expect to see new things, we expect to see new development, we expect to see a new police face, unlike the past. Also, in the week under review, Louis, the Southeast governors back the SEDC, talking about the Southeast Development Commission with 5 billion naira each to support the Commission's 2026 budget.
I'm happy to see that we are having regional integration. Each regions are having
their development commission.
We have in the northeast, we have in the Niger Delta, we have
Southwest.
So it's a good one. Now, if you're looking at this regional, this regions, or rather this development commission from each of these regions, it's a good one because it will bring development, most especially infrastructural development, which is pivotal in this whole development commission, because what it's all about, as the name implies, development commission. So it is geared towards development. Now, putting 5 billion each is a very good one. And what I really love about it is the fact that these governors are coming together to see how they can develop their region, because whether you like it or not, if these regions are going to be developed, it's going to be the handiwork of the political office holders who are presently holding offices. Now, 5 billion each is a very good one, but what I always say, these funds must not be misappropriated. Like we had a discussion yesterday, Nigeria is a country that is blessed. There's no reason why we have youths who are jobless in the streets. There's no reason why we should even have people hungry, people starving, because we are blessed in terms of mineral and human resources. The major problem we've been having is lack of accountability. Now, 5 billion each, that's a whole lot of money. If this money is not misappropriated, it's going to go a long way to provide infrastructural development, and it's going to change the lives of the people in this region. So I would say what the Southeast governors, they intend to do is a good one. So it will really help the region. There need to be that political will, so for this development commission to really thrive, to be at its best. So the governors really need to sit and strategize, and because if talking about Southeast Development Commission, it's about people.
Exactly.
It shouldn't be about their interest. So it's not about putting 5 billion each state governors allocating 5 billion. First of all, they must ensure the funds are not misappropriated. Secondly, they must ensure that these funds are geared towards what is of utmost priority to the people at the moment. So what they should look at for now, they should create hubs, entrepreneurial hubs. They should create vocational centers. Like, look at now, we are talking of green energy. Create an avenue where youth should be enrolled, where if you enroll freely to learn how to install solar installation,
Exactly.
how to create solar panels. Do you think, just imagine if 5,000 youths in each state are empowered in that direction, creation of solar panel, how to repair solar panel. My brother, apart from electricity supply,
Job creation,
economic
growth.
Most of every individual will even be producing their own solar panels in their
Exactly.
house, and that will even reduce government expenditure on the
Power.
power sector. So I think it should be all about the people at this point in time. So this different development commission in each of this region should be more
People-oriented.
People-oriented, people-centric, youth. It should be youth-centered. That is what will really bring normalcy to what we have now. So government should create an enabling environment that will ensure that youths are empowered, vulnerable citizens are taking up the streets, are given a better life. I think that is a much more development commission
Exactly.
that we want to see.
Because what you are saying here is that development is nothing without the people.
Yes.
Because before you go about developing infrastructure, you first of all develop the people that is going to utilize this infrastructure, and I guess that's where you are going to, and I wholeheartedly align with that, because the federal government cannot just be forming a developmental commission across the geopolitical zones. Yet we still have a huge numbers of youths that are unemployed, and we know what that means to the society, what that means to Nigeria, and we are all suffering it today. Like I said, we cannot just go build an infrastructure when the people are hungry, when the people are without jobs, when the people are without basic amenities. You understand? Because we've come a long way. The people, not just Southeast people, Nigerians across wherever they are today, we are suffering what we call a bad governance system, and I believe that the reason or the purpose for coming up with such commission is for the people to feel the impact of governance, irrespective of where they are. And again, it's a good one that the governors are aligning with the center, because the way it is the federal government that formed the development commissions. And you see the state government are aligning, they are working with this commission. It shows that they really mean well for their people, but we want them to take it a much further and ensure that whatever they are contributing the money for, or whatever infrastructure or whatever development the Southeast Development Commission want to embark on, they should ensure that the people comes first. We don't just go commissioning, inaugurating projects when the people in such area are suffering, because we cannot continue like this. We cannot continue in this circle. We must reflect on what are the needs of the people, not the wants. What are the needs of the people? And we should ensure, yes, and we should ensure that we provide that, because why? Funds are already there for it. The constitution already provided for that. So we should ensure that public resources for the public, resources that are meant for the people. We should not just have this commission mere saying that we have commission. I think we should feel the impact. We should feel what the commission have in place for us. So, like we are saying here, is that whatever commission, whatever contribution they are making to this commission, talking about the state governors, as we are zeroing on the Southeast governor, it should be that it reflects in the well-being, the life of citizens in this region. Also, in a week under review, INEC rescheduled the timetable for the 2027 general election, Louis.
Yes, sir. You see, when it comes to issues like this, most especially with oppositions who are just trying to find fault or trying to find wrongdoings, they will always want to say something. Now, INEC shift before now, the date was fixed for the election, which was February. And after some time, after some deliberations, the date coincides with that of the Ramadan.
Yeah.
So after that, the federal government, in conjunction with, and they had to change the date too, because we have in fact, as Nigeria, a lot of our voters, in fact, they are in the northern part of the country. Even in the southern part, we also have the Muslims who will also be voting. So if a date like that should not coincide with such activity, the federal government and INEC thought it wise that it should be January. But now we're still hearing a lot of persons are still saying, why shifting it to January? Probably the federal government, they have a plan. So that is normal. You always hear news like that. News like that will always pop up.
Exactly.
For everybody, oppositions are trying to gain cheap political points. But we are not trying to be political with the issue here. But what we're just trying to say, at this point, we should refrain from using the media to concord hate speech, to concord division among the citizens.
We need to promote our own personal interest.
Just trying to create issues here and there. So I don't know. With what's on ground now, I don't know if the INEC will have to adjust it, maybe upwards or downwards. So I don't know how it's going to be. So I don't really know what the INEC is going to do. So I don't know what's your reaction to this?
Yeah, because INEC, the Independent National Electoral Commission, we all know they are best described as the electoral umpire.
Yeah.
Yes, they are the referee.
Independent.
Yes, they know when to blow the whistle as enshrined in the Electoral Act, talking about the laws guiding election in Nigeria. So I believe the INEC led by Joash Amopita, they are in the right track. But you see, when it comes to religion in Nigeria, it's one sensitive area that whatever institution you are or you are heading, you have to be very, very careful in order not to stoke religious tension in the country. And when that happens, we know what that means for the system. And for INEC to have rearranged or rescheduled the timetable for the election now taking it back from February 20 before for the presidential election and House of Assembly election. They now brought it back to January 26 for the presidential election and National Assembly election. Then for the governorship and state assembly election, talking about February 6. And the opposition are still saying that no, the date is too sudden. The date is trying to reduce the time we have to prepare for the election proper, that INEC failed to consult with the key stakeholders when it comes to election and election proper in Nigeria. So I believe that for me it's not an issue because the electoral umpire has spoken. Because if you remember, when the first timetable for the election was first announced recently, remember there was still this hue and cry by the Muslims talking about the holy month of Ramadan coming next year, that the timetable that INEC have fixed coincide with the holy month of Ramadan, and it's going to affect the period, the Muslim fasting and mass fasting period. And I recall that INEC went as far as issuing a statement that yes, they've seen the reservation or the observation or the concerns of people, especially the Muslims, that they are going to look at the timetable and see how they can adjust it to formally fit the time, so that everyone, regardless of tribe, religion, or whatever, will be carried along, just to push for an inclusive election coming next year. But like I said, there is still reservation, there is still disapproval regarding the timetable that have been rescheduled. But the election must go on. It must go on because there must be opposition. to it, because there's never a time there will not be complaint. There's never a time the entire political structure or the political actors in Nigeria we agree to a particular timetable for an election, especially when it's not serving their own personal interest. So INEC has the powers, according to the law, to so choose a date. But let's not forget that that date must not go beyond the 300 days before before announcing the date for a general election. Because if you recall, there was an amendment to Electoral Act which reduced it from 360 days to announce a date for the election, and now withdraw it back to 300 days. So I believe that is what INEC is looking at. They don't want to go outside, because if they do that, there's going to be what we call a constitutional crisis. So you see, Joash Amaputa-led INEC is trying to see how he can dodge those booby traps to ensure that he deliver according to the Electoral Act. But let's still see if there's still going to be an adjustment, and if there must be an adjustment, we still believe it will still be within the electoral time frame. But if let us not forget, if we're talking about INEC, we're talking about election and election conduct. As they are talking about the timetable, INEC should ensure to prepare well, so that, like we always say, Nigerians, we have confidence in the electoral process. So we are saying that going to the 2027 general election, INEC should ensure that those grievances, those observations are corrected before that time, so that Nigerians, like I said, we have confidence in not just the electoral process. Even INEC, they should be looking forward to an election, because they know that INEC, they are going to conduct what they call a free, fair, and credible polls, because we cannot afford to have a repeat of the past, where people will not want to come outside and vote. They will not want to come outside and participate, going to their belief that their vote will not count, going to the belief that those that are not supposed to win elections are having an edge over those that are supposed to win the election. But like I always say, we still have to do more, especially INEC, to ensure that we have a transparent process, so that all those observations, all those concerns are addressed, because the world is watching. We want to have a whole new INEC, an INEC that we achieve more than what they've achieved in the past, so that Nigerians can once again believe that yes, we are doing well when it comes to election. Lastly, in the week under review, host Edo dethrones Bayelsa to win second Niger Delta Games.
Well, that's it's a good one, because winning a tournament like that, it shows team spirit. It shows sportsmanship. It shows a team that have put in the work, and they are achieving the results. Mind you, before now, we should know Edo State is a state known for sports, for sporting activities. And we also had athletes way back in those days who were phenomenal in their endeavors, their respective endeavors. So it shows that before now, Edo State have been known for sports, for sporting events. They've been phenomenal, so they've been doing well. And with this, it's really a plus. I would say it's a good one for the state. At least we are known for something. At least we are on the records for something good, something great, something phenomenal. I would say I really applaud the organizers of the event, and the coaches, and those who participated in the event one way or the other, who have brought victory to the state. I say well done for your good works. And this we will also use this medium to call on the state government to invest in sports. So I believe the government are not doing a lot in this area. So that's why you see we are having youth residents, a whole lot of youths are not engaged. In civilized climes, you see government provides enabling environment, provides they create avenues where youths they get engaged. All of this is to check youth restiveness, is to take youth off the streets. So I believe when governments, when state governors in their respective states key into this area of development, it will really help. Sports is a very good area to channel the energy of our youth into, because we have a vast youth population. So if every youth, just imagine if every youth they are because there's no way you will not get it, you will not get an area where you like to be engaged. So there must be, if you are not good in football, then basketball. So it's just for the government to see how they can fund this sports, and they create tournaments, different tournaments, even in secondary schools, in universities, even in local government. It will really help a lot. And also it will also boost because now you can look at, there's a lot of money in sporting activities today, so it will even help to boost the government IGR as well.
Like you said, you talked about building facilities across in different areas in the state. I think that is one area I wanted to delve in when I saw the report that have to do with the communal tops in the Niger Delta Games, because the event was hosted right there at the Samuel Ogbemudia Stadium. Remember the name? Samuel Ogbemudia, of blessed memory. That was a former military governor of the state. It's time that the state government led by Monday Okpebholo, if his predecessors have failed to do that, I think he can do that by going as far as building a sporting facility, a sports complex across the 18 local government area of Edo State, and also build a Befiti Stadium, just like the Samuel Ogbemudia Stadium, outside Benin City. Like you highlighted, sports will go a long way to ensure that majority of our youth are engaged, majority of our youth are employed, majority of our youth are able to fend for themselves, not just themselves, for their family, as well their community, because the government cannot do all, it cannot do everything, but by creating the enabling environment, citizens can seize the opportunity to grow, to engage themselves, and contribute meaningfully to the development of their state and country. But I think we are not yet seeing that in Edo when it comes to sports, because it's not all about winning a major festival like the Niger Delta Games. It's not enough. Well, we need to go far and ensure that we have a lot of these facilities, because it will not be out of place if we learn that the Niger Delta Games was held in the new ultra-modern stadium that was built by Monday Okpebholo. It will not be out of place, because we don't expect Samuel Ogbemudia to serve all the sporting purposes that is backed up by the state government. We need this thing to be scattered across the state, so that we don't need to leave wherever we are outside Benin City to be rushing down to the city center or Benin City, so to speak, to go and participate or watch any sporting activities right there on their stadium. Yes, it's a good one that we come outside top. Yes, it's a good one, but we can still do better by ensuring that such facility where such a tournament was hosted in Benin City is built, is constructed, is replicated outside Benin City, because we needed to drive massive development. And in driving development, the people in there to be developed as well. And if we have such facility, like I said, we have youth that will take advantage of it. So, like I said before, it's a good one that came outside top. And once again, I congratulate the athletes and the coaches as well for putting Edo back right there in the map when it comes to sports and sporting activities in Nigeria. That is all we have for the program, where we review major news that made headlines across southern Nigeria in the past week. So, Louis,
thank you for staying tuned to this